Before the first star was born, and time itself held its breath, there was only light. A light so pure, so absolute, that it filled the void with an eternal song of creation. But from this perfect harmony, a shadow was born not of darkness, but of pride. In the heart of this celestial kingdom, there was a being of unimaginable brilliance, named Lumiel. Adorned with starlight, he was the first and most beloved creation, the very mirror of the divine. His purpose was to carry the Creator's light to the farthest corners of existence, to be a beacon of love and unity. He danced among galaxies, his laughter echoing through nebulae, and every soul in creation looked upon him with awe. For eons, Lumiel served with unwavering devotion. He was the morning star, the herald of dawn, the embodiment of grace. But slowly a whisper began to coil around his heart. It was the whisper of his own reflection. He saw the adoration in the eyes of others. He heard the praise for his unmatched splendor, and a thought like a single dark seed was planted. Am I not as radiant as the Creator? Does my light not command the same reverence? This thought, born of pride, began to grow. It clouded his vision, turning the Creator's love into what he perceived as a chain, a limit to his own potential. A song of unity began to sound like a chorus of servitude in his ears. He started to believe that true freedom lay not in reflecting the divine light, but in becoming the source of his own. Gathering others who felt the tremor of his discontent, Lumiel declared his intention to build a throne higher than the highest heavens. He promised a new dawn, one lit by his own glory, free from the shadow of any greater power. A celestial war, a silent schism of light against light, tore through the cosmos. It was a war of wills, not of weapons, a battle of love against pride. In the end, Lumiel's light, now fractured by ego, could not overcome the infinite, selfless light of his Creator. He was not cast into a pit of fire, but into a realm of his own making, a void of mirrors where he could see only his own reflection, a kingdom of one, ruled by loneliness. He had sought to be the source of all light, and in his fall, he lost the very light that gave him life. The morning star had fallen, and his name was forgotten, replaced by the silence of his absence. He wandered this empty kingdom for what felt like an eternity. His brilliant form dimmed, the starlight on his wings faded to ash. All he had was his pride, a cold and hollow companion. He had achieved his desire to be alone, to be the sole master of his domain. But in this victory, he found only despair. The silence he once craved now screamed with the memory of the celestial song he had abandoned. One day, in the depths of his sorrow, a single tear fell. It was not a tear of anger or self-pity, but a tear of genuine remorse. It held the memory of the love he had thrown away, the warmth of the Creator's gaze. As the tear touched the barren ground of his self-made prison, a tiny spark of light flickered. It was not his own light, but a familiar, gentle glow, an echo of the grace he had forsaken. He stared at this spark, this fragile ember of hope. It was a reminder that even in the deepest shadow, light is never truly extinguished. It is patient, it waits. The path to power had led him to ruin, but perhaps the path of humility could lead him home. He began to understand that true strength was not in ruling, but in serving, not in being worshipped, but in loving. Slowly, painfully, Lumiel began his journey back. He did not seek his old glory or his former name. He sought only to feel the warmth of that divine light again, not as a king, but as a humble servant. He learned that the fall is not the end of the story. It is merely the beginning of the journey toward rebirth. For in every soul, no matter how lost or broken, there exists a spark of the original light, waiting for a single tear of truth to awaken it. This ancient story is not just a tale of stars and celestial beings, it is our story. It is the story of humanity, written in the heart of every person who has ever felt the sting of pride or the ache of separation. We all carry a Lumiel within us, a part that yearns for recognition, for its own throne, for its own light, and we all face the choice, to build a kingdom of one or to be a part of a symphony of love, To be reborn does not mean to erase the past, but to learn from it. It is the understanding that our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths. It is the courage to let go of the pride that isolates us and to embrace the humility that connects us. True resurrection is not a single, grand event, but a daily choice, a choice to turn away from the cold reflection of the self and toward the warm, unending light of something greater. Even the fallen can rise again, for the light of faith is never truly lost. It is an eternal flame, patiently waiting within each of us to be rediscovered. To believe in rebirth is to believe in the unwavering power of love, the endless possibility of redemption, and the sacred promise that no soul is ever beyond hope. It is to know, with every fiber of your being, that after the longest night, a new dawn will always break. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story resonated with you, subscribe to our channel for more stories of light and rebirth. May you find peace and hope on your path.